Hey y'all, what's up? So I wanted to talk about the mind versus the heart or whatnot. Like God been dealing with me with this heavily or whatnot because a lot of times we get things confused. We think how we feel, what we think is how we feel, or how we feel is what we think. But in reality, it's totally different, right? So meaning, best example I come up with, I have days that I feel like I'm not pretty. Even though that I know I am pretty, I am beautiful. I have days that I feel that I'm not pretty. So, with this being said, this is an indicator right here letting you know that how I feel is not truly how I feel. I just placed it with how I thought I felt, right? Because it's really not a feeling. It's not really coming from the heart. It's really coming from my head, my thoughts. That's my thought on me. But just like in everyday life, we get tripped up. We get caught up because we go to making decisions thinking, oh, this is my heart. But in reality, this is my head. And that's why it's important to sit back, learn yourself, have a relationship with you before you go to trying to develop it with other people. You develop a relationship with you and a relationship with God so you can know what's you and what's not you. Okay? What's of the head, what's of the mind versus what's of the head. What's of the mind versus what's of the heart. Because like I said in previous videos, if you have not been watching, it's probably best that you stop and kind of catch up on some things because everything that I do, I'm building on, all right? So it's like a foundation that I'm on because like I said early on, this year, like I just been dealing with the head, the mind, the perception, how I see. And it's really easy to get tripped up when you really not paying attention, or when you just going through life, you think certain things and it's really not at all what it appears to be. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning to differentiate how I feel and what I think. Another example. You know how sometimes when you just know that you know, you don't know how you know, but you just know that you know. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, knowing a person, you know a person, but you haven't known them that long at all or whatnot. And you be like, you know what? That's just a good person. Like they good people. You know what I mean? You don't know. You have no way of knowing that in reality, right? You really have no way of knowing it, but it's your heart, your senses, right? Beyond what you can see, beyond even what you think. Because if you really thought about it, you'll be like, I don't even know this person. How I know if they're a good person? See, that's your head right there talking you out of what your heart has already sensed, or what your spirit has already detected. So a lot of times your head get in your way. And that's why the most dangerous thing to be is in your head, because your head will confuse you. Anytime that you're confused, it's another form of overthinking. Confusion is just overthinking, right? Meaning that anytime that you overthink, you end up confusing yourself. And, oh, Lord, don't have an analytical mind. You're definitely going to be in your head always. So us people that have an analytical mind, we have to be careful, right? We have to do a lot of balancing. We have to make sure that we're in good standing, because if we're not, we will find ourselves confused all the time, right? Or we'll make not good decisions because guess what? We end up overthinking stuff. And our head end up talking to us out of what our heart is saying, or either what our spirit has already told us. Because like I said, going back to that person that you don't even know long, you haven't even known long. Sometimes you meet people and you just know they good people. That's that feeling. That's your spirit telling you. That's your heart connecting with another. Because like I said in previous videos, your heart is the key to a lot of things. Your heart will has all the answers. Your spirit, okay, will tell you. You know how like sometimes you be going somewhere and you be like, I just got a bad feeling. Something don't feel right with me. Something ain't sitting right with me. Something disturbing me. You have a unction, right? It's a pulling of the heart. Almost like y'all know the ones that smoke. Like when you hitting it and you get that pull, it's like a pull that you get. It's the same thing, the pulling of the heart. Some things you can't ignore that we try to ignore on a daily, but we end up in confusion or stagnation or having not being able to rest, or end up getting depression or anxiety because we going against the heart or our spirit, because our ego is getting in the way, meaning our traditional beliefs. What we think things should be, how we think things should go, when actually, in reality, things are not always what they may seem. Most of the time, it's really totally opposite. We just develop these things, these bad habits, these bad ways of thinking over time. So a lot of times, like I said, we confuse ourselves. You walking around confused, but you did that to self. You trying to figure out what's this, what's that. In reality, you have confused yourself because you allowed your mind to play tricks on you. Especially when you see people to get into all these mind games, to try to play these mind games on people. You know what I mean? In reality, they confuse themselves. So now that's them confusing you. That's how you get mixed signals. Right? Because guess what? That's just showing you what's going on with a person internally. If you give me mixed signals, then I know that you are confused and you are dealing with something internally. Because there's no way that I should be confused based on what you're doing, somebody else is doing. So you have to find ways to understand how the mind and how the heart works. It's two different things. They both are a pair of eyes, right? Like I said previously. They are. But one is designed that you follow, that you go off, which is your heart, your blueprint. It will tell you everything. It has all the answers, everything deep down. Once, if you hurt, anything that's covered it, whatever, stone or whatnot, it affects how you see. So that's why it's important to heal and deal with things of the past. Because it will affect your relationships, how you view things, how you move, and you will be confused. Because guess what? Because you've been hurt, now all you do is make decisions based off your head. And that's why most of your decisions are not good. Because your head will lead you where it wants you to go. What you think is what's best. When in actuality, which turn into pride. Because in actuality, a lot of things we think is good for us are not the best thing for us. So that's why it's important to be like, God, I want what you want for me. I want what you think is best for me. Because a lot of times we're looking at the surface of things, or we didn't judge things, or we want things based on our head or what we think will be the best outcome. Okay, this person got this, got that, got that. So I'm just my head gonna tell me to naturally go with it, because we don't even second guess certain things. We don't even think to say, okay, why is it that I feel that I should go this way? Why is it that I think that I should go this way? Because a lot of times we get signals, we get red flags, we get all different signs, they come in many different shapes and forms to tell us, no, you might need to reconsider this. You might need to rethink about this. Because guess what? Yeah, everybody have free will. That's your head. Your mind is your will. That's the I. That's your personality. But in reality, your head is really supposed to just help you navigate the heart. It helps you to follow the heart. Okay? It's not designed to work on its own. That's why you have both. Okay? But a lot of times we get stuck into using just one. And that's what people would call a person that has grown cold, a heart of stone. Because now you're no longer using your heart out of fear. Because what have I said? The opposite of love is not hate, it is fear. So whenever you're not using that love, that heart piece, that means you're operating in fear. You're moving in fear. So guess what? Ain't nothing good gonna come from you moving like that. You have to move out of love, which is moving from your heart. But like I said, you will easily get confused because a lot of things that you think is from your heart is really from your head and what you thought and what you think. Going back to what I said about how some days I have these days that I just feel like I am not pretty. It doesn't matter what everybody thinks. It doesn't matter what the world think of me, that I am pretty and that I am smart. I have days that I feel like that I am not smart, I am not pretty, and I am not where I feel like I should be. But guess what? That's a trick. Because guess what? That's not my heart. That's not true feelings. That's my head. That's a thought. Okay? And if you're not careful, sometimes thoughts are perceived as feelings. Let me correct that. Are perceived as feelings when they really are just thoughts. So, I just want to share that, help you guys out a little bit. So, I definitely probably do a part 2 at some point. But y'all have a good one.